Hey everybody, welcome back to the SOLIDWORKS electrical implementation video series. This video, we're going to talk about our connector configurations. Now, if you notice at the top here, I don't have a sheet open yet. So for this particular configuration, it's a lot easier to understand when there is a sheet open. We're going to dive into different sheet types and everything else later in this video series. But for now, we notice that there's this icon when I have a schematic open called Insert Connector. Well, this is an automated way of utilizing your manufacturer part information to insert a connector. You don't necessarily need to use this tool because you also have the Insert Symbol tool. And as we've seen in a few of the previous videos, there's a lot of different types of connectors that are default already here. So if you decide, you can use the insert symbol or the insert connector dynamic connector icon. Now, what the insert connector tool does is it allows you, again, to create a connector symbol that is going to be universal for a lot of different types of connectors, right? So just like we did for our terminal strip drawing, we also have a connector configuration. And very similar to the terminal strip configuration, there is application configurations and project configurations. As long as you have one that is set as the default, it will automatically use this every time. You don't necessarily always have to bring it over to the project. I know in the last video I added one to the project and it shows up in green. For this one, I'm just going to open it from here so you can see that you don't necessarily have to. But any edits I make to this are going to be saved to this particular configuration at the application level. So instead of maximizing the screen, you don't necessarily need to for this configuration. But again, the general tab allows you to name the convention, excuse me, name the connector configuration however you decide, make it a little easier for you to find. And then you can also define the shape and all the different pieces of that particular connector. Of course, how thick it is and the space between each connection point, items like such as that. Then you also have the ability to define the attributes and where you want those attributes to appear at both the top and the bottom of that connector, or just one. You don't have to have one or the other. The connection points, what information do you want to show on every single connection point? Typically there's a tag, but you also have the ability to show what that pin is being used for using the utilization hashtag as well as the mnemonic hashtag. And again, there's a whole bunch of different pieces of information that you can include. And then you can also define individual. It's harder to see because of the way it's set up with the tags on here, but you can also define based on the manufacturer part that you chose before you decided to add a symbol. Based on that manufacturer part information, you can each terminal, each one can define like whether or not it's a female pin, a male pin, so on and so forth. So based on those and based off the manufacturer part, it's going to recognize that and put the appropriate one in. So you can call out exactly where you want those to be, the scale you want those to show up inside the connector. So you can really dial in and make these connectors very unique to what you need them to be. So that is pretty much a very straightforward view of what the connector, the dynamic connector configuration is. Again, there is a lot more information about these in the official training through your local value added reseller. So I hope this helped. I hope this helps you get started with some of these tools, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.